Are you thinking about moving to Boerne, Texas, and you're wondering what it's really like? Well, stay tuned because I'm about to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Serving San Antonio. I'm Christine Johnson with Fathom Realty. And for this video, I decided that I was gonna write down some of my good, bad, and ugly, and then I was going to poll some of my friends and see what they thought about living here in Boerne. And guess what? We all came up with pretty much the same exact things, and it's not very many. So here we go, let me tell you about them. Okay, so for the good, living here in Boerne is still that small town feel. For example, I live in Boerne. When I go out downtown and I go out with my family, if I go pretty much anywhere in the Boerne area, we are bound to run into somebody that we know. I really enjoy that vibe, although some people don't really like that vibe because they want to go somewhere that they don't know people. So if that's something that you like, then maybe you head on into San Antonio. But if you enjoy small town living, then Boerne is definitely a place for you. So to piggyback on that small town feel, there's only 2 high schools in Boerne, Champion High and Boerne High. So most of the schools offer a dual language. Now, it still means that there's a lottery system to get into the program, but you can't say a lot of schools offer that, and Boerne for the most part does. So it's a really great option if you're looking to put your kids into a dual learning program. There's a lot of athletic opportunities here at the schools as well. They have volleyball, dance, cheer, basketball, baseball, football, a big one, as you know, being here in Texas. And last year, Boerne High School actually made it to the championship. They closed down school the day before without any notice to allow families that if they wanted to go to the game to travel up to Dallas and be able to watch the game in person. So pretty cool, again, small town feel. Boerne doesn't lack things to do, and what I mean by that is they always have some sort of an event going on. For example, they have the car show, I want to say twice a year. So if you're into cars, it's a great place to go, walk around and look at old time cars. I think people bring their own personal cars up there. So really fun time doing that. They have Boerne Market Days at least once a month. There's Dickens on Main, which is my absolute favorite event, and I look forward to every year. And that's held the weekend after Thanksgiving. And so that's when Santa Claus comes and the Grinch, which is one of my favorites. There's face painting, there's tons to do for children. There's fake snow outside, so the kids eat that up. Things stay open late, and it's a lot of fun, and there's places to go in and eat and just spend a few hours there. So Dickens on Main, if you have never been, you've got to check it out. And then there's Diva Night, and Diva Night is hosted twice a year. And it's usually a time when a group of girlfriends get together and you go downtown and the shops stay open until about 10. A lot of the shops will have a DJ, they'll have snacks, they'll have wine, and it's all free. So like I said, there's always something to do in Boerne. So check out the events page and check out some of the places that I mentioned. And then of course, there's the brewery scene. The brewery scene, of course, Boerne is becoming one of the go-to places for people to go check out breweries. And we have 4 breweries right downtown within walking distance. You have Cibolo Creek, Dodging Duck, Free Roam, and Tuscaloosa. And then one that just opened a little bit down the street, I wanna say a little bit less than a mile away, so you could walk it or you could just take a little Uber down there, is 28 Songs. So there's 5 breweries right here in Boerne. So if you're here, you gotta check out the brewery scene if that's your thing, because you know that's where you'll find me. Okay, so now that we know what's really awesome about Boerne, let's talk about things that could be a little bit better. The first thing that's a little bit annoying is that if you're somebody that likes to shop at places like Home Goods, Target, Michael's, at a convenience, you're not gonna get that in Boerne. As close as you're gonna get to Boerne is a Walmart. It's not a bad thing. However, if you want designer clothes and you want a TJ Maxx, like most of us want to just go in and just walk to TJ Maxx, you're not going to get that in Boerne. But the plus side of it is it's only about 15 to 20 minutes away at the rim. So you do have them close by. They're just not as close as maybe you're used to or where you're moving from. Okay, the next thing you might not like is, like I've mentioned in previous videos, everything closes at 10. Like 10 o'clock, forget it. If you're hungry and it's 9:30 and you decide you want to go have a drink somewhere, you're not getting in. So get down there early, eat early, and then plan to be done and home by 10. Now, that being said, there is one that's open pretty late, and it's called Salvador Dobbs. Now, for me, I've never been there because I have children and I cannot stay out that late. But I have heard that it is a pretty fun time to go there. So there is another option It's just that if you're sitting down having dinner and plan to stay for a little longer, or maybe that extra drink, you're probably not gonna be able to stay too much longer. So one of the drawbacks is everything closes at 10. Okay, so for everybody that has teenagers out there isn't a lot to do for teenagers here in Boerne. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're looking for a bowling alley to send your kids to have fun on a Friday night, you're not gonna find it in Boerne. There is a bowling alley, I promise you that. But it is the smallest bowling alley, and I'm pretty sure it's like members only, and it's not for kids. We also don't have anywhere like an arcade place to send them, like a Main Event or a Dave & Buster's if you're used to seeing those. We don't have any of those types of things. So places for teenagers to go to be together, just not at home. We don't really have many of those. And then something to kind of tie into what I mentioned for the good in Boerne is when I mentioned that the school district is really good here, I also want to mention the kids are never in school. Seriously, they are always out of school. So let's say for Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day, usually celebrated on a Monday, but the kids will get off on Friday. Columbus Day, you get off on Monday, but the kids get out on Wednesday. So there's 5 days that they're not in school. Let's see, what else? Christmas, they are out for 3 weeks in Christmas. So when everybody's usually going back, Boerne schools still have that extra week off. Now, all that being said, once you get adjusted to that schedule, you can start planning accordingly. So for example, that third week after that they're out of school, most people take their vacations because other kids are back in school. So there are perks to it, but at the same time, they're never in school. So now for the ugly. As I mentioned before, I pulled some of my friends that live in Boerne to kind of see if their thoughts match mine. And this was actually one of the things that I had on my list that most of them all said as well. So first thing is there's a lot of construction going on. There's a lot of building. There's building apartments out here closer on the outskirts of Boerne. But there's also a lot of building going in towards Boerne. They're putting in a Buc-ee's. If you don't know what a Buc-ee's is, look it up. But they're putting in a Buc-ee's, which will then cause a lot of traffic. I love a Buc-ee's, but do I want a Buc-ee's coming into Boerne, causing more traffic coming to and from Boerne? Unless they can remedy that, that's something that I'm still on the fence whether or not I really want the Buc-ee's coming, although I think it would be great in the area. So I'm 50-50 on that one. Now, biggest ugly that I have, along with my friends, is there is this one traffic light at River Road and Herf Road that takes forever to get through. So if you're in a hurry at 5 o'clock in the afternoon during the week, forget it. Start early or don't plan on being there on time. Anyways, all that being said, I hope you got some good insight on the good, the bad, and the ugly about living in Boerne, Texas. But all in all, Boerne is a wonderful place to live. I highly recommend it. And if you have any questions, any concerns, or if you just want to call and say hi, you know how to reach me. Call, text, email, hit the subscribe button, hit that little like. Thanks for watching another episode of Serving San Antonio and Boerne, Texas. I will see you next time.